So um, I basically had to rewrite everything. Um, Welcome everybody. Um, Today I'm gonna be doing my NBA playoffs. I know the playoffs are starting right now. As this is recording, um, I updated basically every um, game. OKC's 0-1. Denver Nuggets and the Clippers were tied 1-1. Wolves and Lakers Wolves are 1-0. Golden State is 1-0. Cavs 1-0. Pacers 1-0. Knicks, Pistons tied 1 apiece, and Boston 1-0. So I had to rewrite everything because obviously in my other channel, I cannot post for 1 week. So I'm gonna be uploading on here a lot until I can gain full access, or not gain, but until I can post again. So in the meantime, in the West, I got the OKC Thunder moving on in 6. I got the Denver Nuggets winning a very close series in 7. I got the Timberwolves sweeping the Lakers. Let me see. Yeah, I actually had the Lakers. No, I had the Timberwolves in 6. But I changed my mind. So I have the Timberwolves sweeping the Lakers. I have the Rockets going to 7, winning that series. Moving on to the West, I have the Cavs, gentleman sweep. I have the Pacers. Even if Dame comes back, he's a liability on defense. And the Pacers just have too much. So I have the Pacers in 6. I have the because I have the upset. I wrote it right here in the upset. I only have one upset. I don't really have too many upsets in the NBA playoffs. Usually in the NFL playoffs, yeah, I might probably have 2 or 1 upset, but in the NBA final, in the NBA, I don't really have. In the NBA playoffs, I don't really have upsets like that. But I do have the Pistons upsetting the Knicks right now. They are currently tied 1 apiece, and then I got Magic winning at least 1 game. And I have them doing a gentleman's sweep. Moving on to the semi-conference, I have Oklahoma City and the Denver Nuggets, and I have I have the Denver Nuggets advancing in 7. I have the Timberwolves and Rockets. I have the Timberwolves advancing in 5. Moving on to the West, I have the Cavaliers versus Pacers. I think that game will go to 5. I got Boston and the Pistons. I think Boston will probably make quick work, but I do think the Pistons will squeeze 1 game at home. Because obviously Boston's probably going to have home court throughout the playoffs. Moving on to the conference finals, I have the Nuggets taking on the Wolves, and I have the Nuggets winning it in 7, and I have the Cavs in Boston, and I have the Boston Celtics winning it in 7. And then moving on to the NBA Finals, I have this going to 7 games, and I have your Finals MVP being Jokic, capturing his second NBA title, tying Larry Bird. Who else had 2 championships? Isaiah Thomas. Yeah. So, I think Denver is probably the only team that can match up well against Boston. But I have this going to 7, and I have the Boston. No, I have the Nuggets, which are the 4th seed taking on the number 1 seed. Can't remember the last time the number 4 seed took on the 1st seed. Let me know in the comment section down below who was the last 4th seed to win the championship. So yeah, so like, comment, subscribe. Let me know. Obviously my Knicks. I mean, the thing is with my Knicks is, or my bad. Just let me know who y'all think is going to win these series. These are just my, I call them my prophecies, but you could call them predictions, whatever. But yeah, just let me know who y'all like in this series, because I had to do it like 2 times. I wasn't really feeling this one, so I had to scrap it and just do it again by hand. But the problem with my Knicks is they don't necessarily have a go-to guy. Like they don't really have like a Carmelo Anthony that can just take over the game. Not even a Carmelo Anthony. They just don't have it. And Tibbs is a defensive guy, and I don't know if they really mesh well the way that he wants them to play. I mean, we had Mike D'Antoni, who was our offensive guru for the Suns. That 7 seconds or less system. I don't know. I just feel like the Pistons. I think this is like kind of like a boxing match where the Pistons is just hanging on and just bobbing and weaving, and we just throwing haymakers at them, and it's just, they just in it for the final blow. Game 1, obviously we won game 1. Game 2, we did come back in the 3rd quarter, but that dagger from Dennis Schroeder, and Dennis Schroeder was a very good pickup. Him, Malik Beasley, they got some pretty good players. And the funny thing, we're at full strength. We're at full strength, and we're losing. Now, I could understand if, Mitch wasn't playing, or OG wasn't playing, or Hart wasn't playing. Brunson had to leave early, but came back. But we have full strength. We have nobody on the injury list. I think the only player that the Pistons have is Duran, Ivory. But other than that, they missed Isaiah Stewart. I don't even think they missed Isaiah Stewart, and I think he's coming back in game 3, so that's probably going to add extra pressure, because we're going to have to split. We're going to have to split games at home. On the road. We're going to have to take one on the road. I think we could win this game, and then they could win the next game, and then it'll go back to Madison Square Garden where we could just finish it off. Or they can win these next 2 games at home and make it 2-1, or no, 3-1. Let's see, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1. Yeah, they can make it 3-1, heading back to Madison Square Garden. Or we can split one of these games, just like how they split the games when they was on the road. And the Pistons is not really a good road team. They're a very good home team, but they're not very good on the road. But then again, they found a way. They found a way. So the Knicks are probably, like I said, the Knicks have to at least split one of these games on the road and head back to Madison Square Garden and close it out. Because if they allow the Pistons to hang around, this could get dangerous. On paper, we're better than them, but again, this is why stats are overblown, and stats don't really matter. It's just who has the better lineup, who has the better matchup, who plays better. So hopefully my Knicks can get it done. I'm watching a documentary on Jennifer Pan. I remember watching this on True Crime TV when we had basic cable, whatever. Like this is like around 2011, because this happened around 2012. She was 24 at the time, but she's 38 now, so she's probably gonna spend the rest of her life in prison, which is sad. Very smart girl. I'll do this for another video, but let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think. All right. Peace.